So, hey everyone, it is the Cloud Goat Ranger. I'm Michael Hoyp. I'm here with Jared Doucette. We're,
Hello.
we're here to stream the finals of the uh, Premodern July monthly open. And let me switch over.
Even though it's August,
Yeah,
we're still finish up July.
yeah. Um, your camera cut out, but I guess if I can hear your audio, that's still fine.
No, oh, that was my choice. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
okay, no, that's fine.
But you want me to leave it on? I can leave
No,
it on.
it's up to you. I mean, it's shown on stream, so it's up to you.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So we are just starting off with the finals. The players that we have are Cristian Wish, and he is playing Red Black Goblins, and then Phil Taylor is playing a Life combo deck. I do have the deck list that I can bring up.
I think Cristian turned off his mic by accident.
Oh, okay. If you just want to oh well, I guess if you want to message them, then because otherwise, I mean, I think they'll figure it out. I'm hoping they will.
As long as they can hear each other and
Yeah,
can't hear us,
that's what we
the
need.
goal.
So I'll
Right.
quick switch over to the decks.
Yeah.
So I have the Goblins deck up. So we've seen different lists of the Goblin decks, and the biggest difference between is the splash color typically.
That's correct.
During the Spring Fling was probably the last time that you guys heard from me. We had two red-green Goblins decks in the top 8, and here we have a red-black list. So the biggest
Right.
difference is Duress versus Naturalize. So
Absolutely.
what do you think about the list in general, and how do you think it plays in terms of this matchup? How does it affect?
Well, I think my guess is that Duress is a little better in this matchup than Naturalized because the life combo, is all about creatures, and so like the Naturalized is not going to impact that as much, whereas the Duress has a chance. Okay. Sorry, they're having some audio issues.
Yeah, it's okay. I have the deck profile up, so once they get started, then I'll switch over. But
All right, I'm turning their mics off so I can't hear them now.
Okay.
Let's go. Okay, we should be better now. All right, so yeah, I think the rest is a little bit better in this matchup compared to the Naturalize, mostly because the rest can get like the Worthy Cause or the Test of Endurance that is part of the combo. But I still think the actual core of the combo though is the creatures. So disrupting it is going to be a little bit more difficult in general for either side. So, but I think as long as the goblins that can interact a little bit with I think he's got 3 lightning bolts in there. Yeah, he does.
Yep.
And the sharpshooters and stuff like that, and Gempalms or whatever, they can be able to at least interact before he goes off, unless he goes off all in one turn.
Yeah, that was the next thing I was going to bring up was the inclusion of lightning bolt in the goblins deck, which
Mhm.
is, I mean, it's not weird per se, but most lists that you look at don't have lightning bolt. So
Yeah, because you want to have a maximum number of goblins to
Yeah.
maximize on the specifically Ringleader, which is one of your best cards.
yeah,
Make
but
sure that hits for 2 to 3 to 4 each time.
yeah, that really will help him out in this matchup. I guess just being able to maybe break up the combo before it comes down could be really advantageous for the Goblins deck. I'm going to bring up the Life deck. So for those unfamiliar with what this list does, it's a combo deck where it just wants to gain infinite life, and the cards that it needs are a Nomad, which is a creature. It's kind of a cycle. There were a number of creatures, and when they have a 0 mana ability that can target a creature and redirect the next 1 damage from that creature to itself. And really what it's looking to do in this deck is just target a creature for 0 mana. And then there's 2 other creatures that have an ability. Daru Spiritualist is one, and is it Task
The
Force?
Rebel Task Force or whatever.
Yeah. So they have an ability of whenever they become the target of a spell or ability, they get their toughness boosts. I think one gets +0/+2, and the other one gets +0/+3, and it can make their toughness arbitrarily large or infinite. And then after that happens, they need a third card, either in Worthy Cause, which is an instant that can sacrifice a creature where you gain life equal to its toughness, or Starlit Sanctum is a land that has an ability to do a similar thing. You can gain life equal to the cleric that is the toughness of the stack. So it only works with the Daru Spiritualist, but then there's a lot of redundancy pieces. There's Eldrami's Call, which can tutor for a creature, or Living Witch, which gets either the land of Starlit Sanctum or one of the combo pieces from the sideboard.
Which is pretty awesome.
So
Yeah.
there's a lot of redundancy in the creature package in here.
Yeah, I actually played against Phil in the top 4 with my Stifle Knot list, and I gotta tell you, because it's not a very common deck by any means, I definitely made mistakes that led to my loss, I think. Yeah. I mean, he played well, and he had the right cards, but
and the one thing to note with the life deck against some certain decks in the pre-modern metagame, infinite life is not a guaranteed win. So it has a card like Test of Endurance, which is an enchantment. If you have 50 or more life at the beginning of your upkeep, you win the game. So that's what it'll do some of the time. But in this matchup, infinite life is just good enough. There's nothing that Cristian can do. So we're starting off here. Phil is on the play. He's starting with a Windswept Heath to get a Plains. So the cards he could play on turn 1 is Mother of Runes or Nomad's en-Kor. So he's
there's Mom.
So this is kind of an issue where it's like, if Cristian doesn't have that many ways to deal with creatures, he's got like Mogg Fanatic and the Lightning Bolt. But if he's having to use it on the Mother of Runes, then he's probably not going to be able to kill the creature that he actually wants to kill.
Yeah, and he's got his best for one play with the Lackey, but at the same time with that Mom on the other side, it's not going to do a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if Phil doesn't do anything on this turn, I would be willing to use like a Lightning Bolt just to tap the Mother of Runes.
To get the Lackey in, I would agree with that.
But, yeah. I mean, there's here we see another creature. So this is the, let me bring this card up, because there are probably a lot of cards that people are not as familiar with.
No, it's definitely a weird list, for sure.
Let me bring up my card fetcher.
Yeah, but he's already got one of the combo pieces and one to protect it, and so if it is a 3-card combo, so that is the thing, and then two of them are creatures, so it is interactable. But if he can get it off, then like you said, it's pretty much game over.
Oh, I brought up the Nomads en-Kor. I want the Shaman en-Kor.
And they're all cleric. 2 of them are clerics. One's a rebel. They're all a little different. So when I was playing against, I was like, oh, Plague's probably good against this. But some of them have 2 toughness. It's actually the common sideboard cards aren't as easy to interact with.
Yep.
So
okay,
it's kind of a strange list.
So we see another Lackey from Cristian, but he's not able to attack with the first. And even
right.
I mean, the second one really doesn't do that much either, because there's a 1/2, and then there's a Mother of Runes that can get protection from red. So
exactly.
Even if he attacked right here, he's not doing anything.
No, this is looking rough. And then we got Miri's Guy. Also now he's going to start digging for like you said, the Eldrami's Call or the other combo pieces. Yeah, this is a pretty good start for Phil. Oh, and another one, because those can also just redirect damage. So if you give something pro red, you could just send all the damage over to there, and those could block forever.
Yeah, even if if 1/2 was not big enough to block a creature.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, I mean, this is looking kind of rough, like a rough start for Cristian so far. But he's done it before. I mean, he's got not out of it yet until the actual combo goes off.
Yeah, I was thinking. I mean, I felt like the most likely way that Cristian would be stealing games would be turn 1 Lackey, and then turn 2 remove whatever you played and connect with a Lackey, and then just have a really big board presence that Phil just can't catch up from, and he isn't able to assemble the combo that quick. But,
no, he isn't.
But in general, I think it's a rough matchup for Cristian. There's a lot of things either have to go right on his side, or some things have to go wrong on Phil's side.
Yeah, and he can't interact as well, with his hand until the Duresses come in, which is a bummer. But we might have a connection issue again between them. He looks like he's there. I want to turn my cam off. Maybe that just helps speed things up. I don't know. No, maybe not.
Yeah, so
maybe Cristian did freeze.
Oh no, okay. I was gonna say, yeah, it's weird when the players, they're holding their hands still. I thought both of them were frozen, but
no. Oh yeah, it looks like we lost him.
Now we got my face in there.
And what a face it is.
Yeah.
Cristian just texted us. I guess the internet went off.
All right, so we'll hold here and we'll. Um, Man, I just wish people wouldn't have to see me. It just looks so goofy. I guess I could.
Don't worry, I just woke up like an hour ago, so I still got the bed head going on and everything.
All right, so while we wait, while Phil reconnects. Oh no, it's Cristian. Sorry, Cristian. The screen moved over, so right now Cristian's play screen is represented by Phil's board state. So
that's interesting.
It's just the layout I have with whereby.
This is being streamed on your Twitch as well, right?
Yeah, we're live right now.
Okay, that's what I thought.
People are saying I'm too quiet. So, all right, I'm gonna mess with settings, but
You sound better there. Somebody sound louder.
Okay.
All right, while we're waiting, I'm just gonna get a drink and I'll be right back. Sorry, dead air.
Okay. Yeah. So, we are playing a best of 5. So I'll switch over the decks right now as long as nothing's gonna be changing with the board state. I guess I'm gonna look at sideboards in terms of because I'm kind of looking for a perspective of is Goblins going to be able to do anything, and from sideboard cards from the Goblins, I think Duress is okay. I mean it's not going to prevent any of the creatures from coming into play, but it might be able to slow things down, like getting a Worthy Cause or some of the redundancy pieces like Living Wish or Eldrami's Call. But then Sparksmith and Anarchy, I guess, are the exciting cards that would come in. And so, I mean, I think things get better after sideboard for the Goblins deck, but I don't think it's enough for me to say that I like their matchup afterwards.
No, I like Goblins in a lot of matchups, but not this one.
No.
You know, like their combo just says you can't win. Like you said, there's no other way for the Goblins to win other than do damage.
Yeah.
When I was playing the Stifle Knot deck, I didn't realize it at the time because, again, but in like game 1, I could have had he went off on his combo and I just scooped up like after like it happened. I was like, okay, I'm done, whatever. But then he was like, why didn't you use the Vision Charms on me and make me mill 4? I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I could have won that way, you know?
Yeah,
that's 16 cards that's going to be in his graveyard instead of ahead of me, so he'll probably lose because he probably can't kill me.
Yeah.
I'll just have a bunch of 12/12s mucking up the ground, and eventually they'll win.
Yeah, just really the only card you would have to worry about would be the Test of Endurance, I think.
Right, but I had a Seal of Cleansing to be able to deal with that.
Okay.
So, and it was just like I probably could have still won that game. But that was just my unfamiliarity with this deck because this deck didn't really make any big splashes back in the day or anything like that. I think it existed definitely, but
I knew it. It top 8'd Pro Tour Columbus, and that's what I know it from. I know I played it in a monthly one time, and coincidentally enough, I played the mirror match in my pod play. It was kind of funny that my opponent went like turn 1 Nomads en-Kor or something, or maybe I played it, I'm not sure. And I think I asked him like, do you know what this does? And he's like, yeah. And then he untapped, like played a Plains and then played like the same card. So it was pretty
unlikely.
So yeah, it was pretty funny in that scenario. That I mean, I don't think I've ever played against the deck, but there was another copy in the top 8. It was
last month.
No, this month. This month there was another one too, or the top 16. I don't know if they made top 8 or top 16, but yeah, it was someone in my pod. I think he won the wild card. It was one of the players I didn't play, and it was a pretty similar list. I mean, some of the card counts are different. I think he had Transfiguration or some other black card that was there. That was another combo piece, but yeah, it's interesting that how infrequently this deck gets played, that 2 of it end up in the top 16. And it's not like they were people working together, I'm assuming, because their lists are pretty different.
Right.
So I think it's just 2 independent people, and they both did well enough to make the elimination rounds.
I think it mostly is like I said, people aren't used to how to interact with it, and it's got a bunch of like cards that you don't see play in other decks. So it takes a lot of like, okay, I got to go to Gatherer. Okay, what is this actually? Okay, has this been a Ratato cleric, or is this like a nomad or a rebel or whatever it is? Like, so you kind of get confused as far, and some of that, like you said, the redundancy of the deck, it also makes it strong. Mm-hmm. So, but also there's slight differences between these cards, even though they're so redundant.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's I think now that people know that it's on the map, so to speak, and people will learn how to play against it.
Mm-hmm.
it probably will slow it down a little bit because it's like I said, it is a 3-card combo.
Yeah.
Even though it's easy to find, it's just 3 cards is just 50% harder than the 2-card combos. So we'll see. But I like that it exists as a deck and people will know about it. And it's just one of those one of the other decks to add to the metagame that you have to kind of have in mind. But I also I remember that recently there was a guy coming in new to the Premodern. Oh, it looks like we're back up.
Hello?
Hey there.
Christian.
Wow. I don't know what happened. Lose the connection.
Okay. Well,
with the modem.
All right. If Phil can hear you, then I'm going to mute you, and then everything should be good from there on, hopefully. So, all right. Good luck. All right. So let's switch back over to our play screen. And so I don't even remember what turn we're on, but
I think it's turn 3.
It's
going to be Christian's turn 3. Yeah.
So
judging by the land count. Yeah. Okay. So now we're back on. All right. So he does a crash effect. So maybe he's trying to dig for more. That's my guess. If you're not cracking that, probably needs to try to get a 3rd land drop, and it looks like maybe he hasn't gotten it yet. But even then, I don't know. Okay, there it is. But what could best thing he could do? Well, Warchief is usually your best play on turn 3. Maybe
Sharpshooter would probably be the best card.
Well, Matron to find the Sharpshooter likely.
Yeah, I mean it's still a really slow plan. You need to play the Sharpshooter, pass the turn, and then you wouldn't even want to use it on your turn. You'd want to use it at the end of Phil's turn, so he would tap the room. I guess it doesn't really matter because you need something to die because the Sharpshooter doesn't untap itself.
Well, you could sacrifice a Lackey at that point probably, but he needs it's either that he doesn't block, or dies and taps a Sharpshooter, which kills the mom. So there's a couple things to figure out. All right, but no, Fanatic's not bad. It's something. Now,
I guess for that purpose of killing the mother runes, it's kind of close. So
right. All right, what do we got here? Oh, the Guile. That's right. Okay. Okay. So again, he's probably just digging for his other combo piece, either the Starlit Sanctum or the Spiritualist or the Worthy Cause.
Yeah, right now he only has one of the combo pieces on board. If he had one of the creatures, the Daru Spiritualist, here, let me bring those up.
If he has Spiritualist right now, there's the task force.
Okay, so here's a task force. I guess I'll bring that one up. So the interesting thing is here. So even if he doesn't have the other combo piece right now, he still has basically it as long as infinite toughness blockers. So this creature can be targeted. So its toughness can get as big as he wants, and then the I guess I was thinking that, and then so the Nomads en-Kor can redirect damage from the task force to it. So I guess he just has one creature with infinite toughness. So
it's just a task force, but again, it is infinite, like you said. It's just going to be everywhere. So it looks like he did use a Gempalm, and he's going to use Gempalm and the.
So the combination of Gempalm Incinerator and Mogg Fanatic is going to be able to take out a mother.
At least with the Gempalm, you get the card back, so that's not a terrible 2-for-1. You kind of break even.
Yeah, the thing is, it's just from when we looked at Cristian's list, he just doesn't have that many removal spells or ways to interact. So it's kind of he used 2 of them right there just to get rid of mother runes. I mean, I think it's the right play. It's what he had to do, but there's just a lot less cards for him to deal with what's on the board now. Right.
No, I agree. But and again, he still has no pressure because he's got, like you said, 2 blockers that are bigger than his lackeys and the infinite blocker. So it's just.
So we see a matron. I mean, Sharpshooter's not very good here. Yeah, the Goblin Mom.
The Goblin Mom. So what's he gonna get? Probably again, like you said, Sharpshooter's not very good. I guess another Gempalm is probably his best bet to try to.
Don't remember exactly if he had more than one, or if he was just playing one.
But then again, if he does Gempalm, if he Gempalms the task force, it probably gets too big.
All right. I mean, this makes sense in terms of getting Warchief. If it reduces all the creature costs for your goblins and it gives them haste, you might be able to build up a board state if Phil doesn't have the other combo piece where
Right.
Christian's able to go wide enough and then just attack. I mean, it's pretty unlikely, but I mean, you got to do what you got to do in the spot. Okay, Chad is saying that he has 3 Gempalm Incinerators. So that's a lot more I know than I usually run. I think I usually only play 1. But I know
Right.
part of the reason was when I played, the metagame had a lot more creatureless decks. But I feel like the metagame has shifted to play a lot more creatures. So a Nomad's en-Kor comes down for Phil. This is a combo piece, but it's just a redundant one of the Shaman's en-Kor.
Yeah, they're all the same. They all do the same thing. They can redirect damage, basically. I think it's interesting that it doesn't have to have the damage on the stack, which just makes this combo possible.
Yes.
Okay. 1 mana for what?
I think I missed.
All right, there's Eldrimmer Army's Call. This is okay.
Well, even then, so I mean, at this point, there's
But
no.
he just needs the Worthy Cause, or he really wishes this was a Living Wish, so he could go get the Starlit Sanctum.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I guess like you could get. Does Academy Rector get? Because I know, I didn't look at the list that closely, but I think I played like an Animal Boneyard, which was an enchantment that you could get with Academy Rector dying, but he doesn't even have 4 mana. All right, so he's just getting more redundant combo pieces. So he's getting the Daru Spiritualist. Let me bring that up. So
He's gonna have 4 cards that do the same thing, essentially. Oh, no, 2 and 2, or 3 and 2, I guess. Because the Spiritualist gets big like the Task Force does.
I guess it makes sense to get the Spiritualist because it interacts with the Starlit Sanctum where Task Force does not. So where if you have the Task Force part of the combo, you need Worthy Cause or Animal Boneyard. I'm not sure if he's playing it to gain the life. Where the Daru Spiritualist interacts with the Starlit Sanctum too. Yeah, as someone commented about shuffling his library is also a benefit of playing the tutor. Getting to see 3 new cards with Miri's Guile is
Oh, of course, yeah.
a good thing.
Yeah, as we all know, the old brainstorm fetch link kind of thing.
Yeah.
It is powerful, even in this kind of less efficient way. Wait, so how does the Task Force not do the same thing as the Spiritualist?
Well, it does, but it's not a cleric. It's a rebel, so you can't sacrifice it to the land because you need to sacrifice a cleric.
Oh, see, that's one of the other things I didn't realize is that, like, how specific those things are. So that's why the Spiritualist is better. I get you. Okay. Yeah, so like I'm learning more as I play.
Yeah.
I didn't realize this. I thought it was the Starlit Sanctum was just sacrifice a creature, but it's sacrifice a cleric. So that is okay. So so when I played my matchup against him, so I had it was game 3, and I had like a turn 1 meddling mage that I was just like, okay, what do I name with this piece? Like, do I name like one of the combo pieces? Do I name like the Worthy Cause? But if I name the Worthy Cause, then I can't name the Starlit Sanctum. Because those are the ones that really end the game, so to speak, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, and then if I name the Spiritualist, then that turns off, half the combo. And I know he had 3 copies of that and one on the board, and like that was 2 mana compared to the Rebel, which was 3. So it's just like there's, like you said, the redundancy and the slight differences in all of them. It actually makes it kind of difficult. All right, we're going really wide now with the Goblos.
Yeah, so Cristian played a Goblin Matron. It costs 1 less because of the Warchief, and he finds a Goblin Piledriver, which normally is like the heavy hitter from the Goblins deck, but when you have infinite toughness, Piledriver is a little bit less impressive.
Yeah, I'm not sure because Phil's pretty wide right now too. It's gonna be really hard to get through this.
Yeah, it looks like just by shuffling. Oh, is he resolving Miri's Guile right now? I was trying to figure out how many cards are in his hand, but I think he only has 2. I think he had 1 card and then he just drew for the turn.
Yeah, he has 2 at 3 at the very most. I'm pretty sure.
So at this point, he's just kind of at the mercy of the top of his deck. more
Jesus.
More Daru Spiritualist. So
yeah, I don't know how he's getting through this. And another Nomad. Oh man, like I think his hand's empty now, but like as soon as that land or that Worthy Cause comes down.
So, yeah, I mean his outs right now are he has 4 Worthy Cause, he has 4 Living Wish, he has 3 Starlit Sanctum.
They aren't even outs because he's not like he's under pretty pressure,
Yeah. Here's
Okay.
a Goblin King, but there's
Okay.
no mountain on the side of Phil, so Mountain Walk is not coming to play. I mean, it does give his creatures power and toughness, but
Okay, we are really wide now. Okay, so we have, okay, so we have 2 lackeys. This is fun. That's a lot of triggers. I think it's 2 lackeys, 2 matrons, a king, and 3 pile drivers.
all right. So
This might actually
pile
connect.
drivers can get blocked by it at least like the one of the Daru Spiritualists or the Task Force because it's gonna have infinite toughness. You
Right.
could like block with 2 of them so that way you have 2 power to kill them. I don't know. It depends. Oh, and you need 3 because of the Goblin King. They do have a boosted toughness. So I think he's probably just gonna like soak up damage. So yeah, this is actually like a. I don't know if there's like a real good way for Phil to just like punish his attack. He is attacking with Goblin King. Is that
He
would be
is.
I guess the weakness is. I think he can set up. I think he wants to kill the Goblin King, and then he can maybe take advantage of.
Because with the nomads, so the nomads can redirect damage from themselves or from any creature. Is that correct?
The next 1 damage that we dealt to target creature, I think, is dealt to this nomad. So he can, I think, It's funny because it's like, obviously I'm familiar with these cards for the combo sake, but not just in terms of like creature combat. So redirect 1 damage from Nomad's en-Kor to a creature you control. Okay, so
Right,
yeah,
so
it's
it
basically
soaks up.
yeah, those 2 creatures. So basically he has none of his creatures will die from combat because he can
Right.
redirect any amount of damage from the nomad creature to one of the spiritualists or the task force, which gets infinite toughness. So it's basically he's just has to say like how much power do I want to line up to try and kill some of Christian's creatures. So I would at least put 2 power on the Goblin King. And then
Right.
that way you can if you put 2 power like on a pile driver, it'll die after combat damage and the Goblin King goes away. Because right now the pile drivers have 3 toughness, but after the King goes away, then it's only going to be 2. But it's like, do you want to take damage from a Goblin Lackey? Do you want to take damage? It's
Well, he'll probably just take a couple hits from the matrons. Like, who cares, right? He'll
Yeah.
probably take 4 damage from the matrons, and like he's like fine.
all right. I'm not sure which ones of these are getting through. I'm gonna hope that I can see their life total adjust so I can.
Yeah, and then we can figure it out. We're,
Yeah.
we're pretty sure that the pile drivers are each swinging for what?
Well, how many
17,
goblins are there?
18, 18.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they get plus 16, and then they have base power of 2 because of the
Yeah.
Goblin King.
Yeah, so they're each swinging for 18.
18.
I mean, pretty sweet, but at the same time, it's not going to do a whole lot here.
Well,
'Cause those
I mean,
those can each get blocked by.
he's chipping in. I mean, I guess it because some of
Like a
these are
loser.
getting through.
So, but none of the creatures on Phil's side are going to die. I don't think.
Right.
Looks like he did take some damage. I can't tell what he's down to though.
Yeah, I can't see it. I'm gonna guess 9, but I don't.
Oh, he scooped them up.
Wow.
Did we just see something wrong there? It looks like he
No.
went down to.
No,
Huh.
that looks like a 2. So I guess maybe he took a lot more damage. I mean, I guess there were like 2 Goblin Lackeys, a Warchief, a Matron. So that was 2 plus 2 plus 3. So that's 7 plus 2 is 9. He was at least taking 9. The unblocked.
But he had 7 blockers.
So the creatures he blocked, there were 3 Goblin Piledrivers, and he blocked a Goblin King I saw. So that's 4. Yeah.
Yeah, but the other ones could still block because they could just keep redirecting the damage, and then that's how they get infinite. And I would use because he had 2 spiritualists in the task force, right? So you have those 3 block the pile drivers, and you have the other ones block the en-Kors block the other ones, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you just go 1-1-1, and they just redirect all the damage that they would be taking, and then so those become huge, and they take no damage.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, maybe
I mean,
it
there was
just-
going to be. I think he probably should have only taken at most 4 there from like 2 matrons. It could be. I mean, unless we totally missed something here. I mean, I don't know if chat's saying something, but unless I'm not understanding how these en-Kors really work. But I feel like that was very survivable.
Oh man, we're getting our first spam in the chat. I feel like we've made it now.
Oh, great.
I wish I.
We ruffled enough feathers now.
it's like a bot want to become famous, and then
Oh, that's how you know you made it.
yeah.
When Twitch is trying to take advantage of you.
So we are playing a best of 5, so the sideboards don't come into play for this game. They will be used for the third and potentially fourth and fifth games. So yeah, I mean, I really like Goblins, but it's kind of like I feel like they're the underdog in this matchup, so it's kind of like you want to cheer for the underdog. So I feel like he kind of got away with that one because I mean, Phil had a lot of turns and he just drew 2 of the combo pieces, but he just drew the same ones over and over and over.
I'm still confused how that attack didn't work out better for him. Unless he was like, oh, I'll just take a bunch here to try to let my things live. But like we said, how do we not even how did he not even whatchamacallit like try to get rid of the king, you know?
I got my moderator in chat banning the bots. So.
Oh, good. Who's your moderator?
Skin Wimmel.
All right.
Yeah, so I mean, it's also possible, like in that combat phase, that maybe Phil just wasn't aware of the interaction of like redirecting the damage, and he didn't block with some of the nomads. But I mean, he would only need one of them.
It does redirect the damage from the nomad to something else.
Yep.
Which with those spiritualists and task forces, because the spiritualist goes +0 +2.
Yeah.
And the task force goes +0 +3 for each time it's targeted, I believe. So I mean, every 1 damage doesn't matter. They're still going to survive it.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, when you have those 2 in play, you basically have two
infinite
toughness blockers. Yeah.
And he had 3 of those because he had 2 task force and 2 spiritualists, and he had I think it was 4 of the nomads. I don't know. We missed him. Okay, turn 1 nomad. Here we go. He's on the aggro plan now. He's
he's a life beatdown deck.
All right, we got a fetch out of probably just fetching, probably playing. I would guess hoping for Lackey because this one. I mean, you'd rather see almost the nomad than the mom at this point on turn 1, right? Because you have, I mean, if you Fanatic this combo piece, and there you go, you're fine with doing this either way.
Yeah, I like waiting because
there's no point.
Yeah,
let it put something on the stack, you know.
Yeah, it's something that you might be just like, oh, I got to get rid of this right away, but yeah, you can just wait because you might be able to get an attack in with that guy, and yeah, I mean Phil might block, but if he doesn't, then you got free point. Yeah.
Even if Phil even attacks here, I would probably just take it. Because what if he plays? Because he could. I mean, depending what the rest of Christian's hand is.
Well, Christian's life total is not a resource that is really pressured in this match.
No.
So. Yeah, I think he'd be happy to take damage. Okay. So here.
So redundant, but that's a 1/2. That's the difference.
Yeah. So. I mean, if you don't do it in response, now that 1 damage can always be redirected.
Yeah, I would have probably killed it there.
The Nomad's en-Kor. I mean, there could be a Goblin King. That could be a reason to yeah, I don't know. Or I mean, the board state that we saw in the last game, where it just you built up wide enough, and maybe having the creatures in play.
Yeah, I could see it. I mean, maybe that's his strategy. Is just try to go as wide as possible. Oh boy. Okay. Not going to get much damage in, but I guess you got to try to go wider than him. This is where the Warchief's going to come down, so you can start taking advantage of the mana.
Yeah, so we have a task force in play, and Cristian has played a Skirk Prospector, which...
Fine little card.
Yeah, I mean, the one interaction that it can do really cool stuff is when you have Goblin Sharpshooter, that you're really able to kind of set up some things to sacrifice goblins, get a few more mana, get some untapped triggers, and you can really take some stuff down. But I don't think we're at that point where obviously there's no Goblin Sharpshooter in play right now. But yeah,
it also lets you, like, if you're tapped out, use like Siege Gang if you need to, or something like that. Like you sacrifice some of these little ones for some damage, or that last little bit of reach.
A Matron comes down for Cristian. Is it just a Warchief again? A Ringleader. Okay.
Ringleader.
So.
That must mean he either has the mana, he's probably got at least one land in hand.
Yeah.
Or he's going to use sack the Prospector to be able to pump that out next turn. But with the Warchief, with the Ringleader, it lets him get the cards to go wide, right? So.
Yep. All right, so.
Oh, he does have Starlit Sanctum. Okay, there you go. Infinite life.
Well, no, it's not a cleric. It's a rebel. It's kind of interesting that Cristian identified it right away, and
yeah.
And now they're double checking. But yes, Task Force is a creature type rebel, and I'll bring up Starlit Sanctum again. It requires you.
Yeah, human rebel and Starlit Sanctum.
Oh.
Yep, sacrifice a cleric. Has to be a cleric.
So yeah.
See, I wonder if he probably got some wins out of this, and maybe even against me. No, he did the worthy clause against me, and he did the task force.
Yeah, now you're like trying to go back through your entire.
Yeah, I'm trying to
match.
He used the Starlit Sanctum.
Or maybe you just scooped when he because you were talking about when you said you didn't realize. You're like, oh, maybe you just he showed the 3 cards and then you just.
I did in game 2, the game 2 against him that I won. I did stifle his Starlit Trigger twice.
Okay.
So I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And of course, because the sacrifice is part of the cost, so that thing's gone. Yeah, so I was able to buy 2 turns and get my last swing in.
When the creature's gone, so yeah, if you don't have redundant combo pieces, then you have to wait until you get those.
Yeah, I'm glad Cristian noticed that, and we were just talking about it. Because yes, very specifically says cleric, but this is what kind of the confusing part about the deck is because, some of them have been changed to clerics. But the task force hasn't.
I don't think. Well, I guess maybe cleric is a type that might be added to some of the cards, but I feel like human is the most common. I think a lot of these creatures might be humans, but
okay. So the nomads en-Kor, that's a core nomad soldier, but the shaman.
You're looking at updated gather stuff. Okay. Yeah.
Shaman en-Kor has core cleric shaman. I'm wondering when it was first printed, if you can find it in Stronghold. It just says cleric. Okay, so that was always a cleric, but it added those other 2 creature types. And then Dralnu Spiritualist. Dralnu Spiritualist, right?
Daru, D-A-R-U.
Oh, Darnu.
No, D-A-R-U. No, there's
D-A-R-U.
Yeah. Daru
Spiritualist. All right, that was always a cleric, and that's a human too, apparently. Even though it doesn't really look like much of a human.
All right, I missed what came off the Ringleader because I was looking up.
Yeah, me too.
But so I don't know exactly what goblins went into.
Well, he played a looks like he got the Warchief down too.
Yeah, that was the term before.
Okay, so he's gonna start going pretty wide here. Oh, there's a Lackey. All right, now he's got 6 attackers. So this
chat is saying that a Lackey, a Ringleader, and a Piledriver
came
off, and then Wasteland went to the bottom. So thank you, chat.
Thank you, chat. Yeah. Okay, this is good. This is a clock now.
Well, I mean, the one thing that's different than the board state here than the first game is there's no Goblin King, so a lot of the creatures have 1 toughness. So, I mean, in theory, Phil should be able to take out 3 1 toughness creatures or block any 3 creatures without losing any of his guys.
So he's definitely gonna block the Ringleader with the task force, right?
The Ringleader? No.
I'm sorry. No, Piledriver. Excuse me. Yeah, and then you got. Yeah, that's definitely blocked, and you probably
block a Lackey. I would block probably the Skirk Prospector, but I mean, you could also make the argument of double blocking a Goblin Warchief. But then you're letting a Lackey through. So.
Yeah, no, you can't let a Lackey through because he has another way to refill his hand with another Ringleader's hand, right?
Yeah.
Is it Ringleader, which is one of the best things you can do. I love the Goblins deck because it could be aggressive. It can win on turn 3, but it can also, it can grind. Yeah, it can actually absolutely grind. So it looks like he double
blocked the Piledriver and then blocked the Lackey.
Okay.
So looks like he's at 12.
So we took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think he had a fetch. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so that wasn't a great attack, honestly. I mean, it's got damage in, but he knows he can refill. And he still has the Warchief, which is huge. So he can drop another Ringleader here, maybe find another, who knows what. But this is that you got to keep this pressure on, I think. Yep, there you go, Ringleader. Let's hit some Piledrivers.
I mean, I think it's a fine attack because it's kind of time is not on his side.
Okay. No, it's not. Siege gang. Yep, gang's on here, buddy.
Oh, wow.
Okay, that's some gas.
So the one card that's, I guess, a little bit less recognizable was the Goblin Tinkerer.
Yeah, that doesn't matter in this matchup. That's definitely going to get boarded out quickly, I'd have to imagine.
Yeah.
But it's a nice little thing, especially with the Warchief. When you could start using that right away and just start blowing things up. What I love is that it's a 1/2, and actually, even though it's slow, you could use it to interact with something like a Dreadnought, you know, and so it survives, which is amazing because it deals damage to itself equal to the casting cost of the artifact.
Yeah,
So
I feel like a good amount of the time, like if you're getting Goblin Tinkerer in play, you probably have a Warchief. So like the slow part, it would have haste. So all right, so the team's coming in again.
Yep. It's going to lose some things, but again, he did just draw 4 cards, which is awesome. So this is going to be another good little chip attack.
Yeah,
probably get in for.
If he
needs to get rid of the Warchief.
Yeah.
If I was Phil.
But then you're taking, so if he double blocked the Warchief and blocked the Lackey, then he would take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I take 7.
8. He would take 8. Okay, so looks like he's blocking Lackey, Matron, and Prospector. I mean, Mogg Fanatic is a better block than Matron, right?
It has to be, right? Matron is literally just a 1/1. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I mean,
a Prospector maybe for the mana, but I think of Cristian's pretty happy to have these creatures left over.
So he goes down to 4.
But again, he could just draw the Spiritualist. He could just draw the, worthy cause right here. Just
pretty much only has 1 turn. Oh, okay.
Right. Oh, there's Living Wish.
Well, does he have? So that he needs to use 2 mana for that.
Right. 2 mana for the Spiritualist, and then he has enough for the.
As long as he has 2 white sources, he is.
Yeah, he's got 2 planes. I see.
Okay.
Right, wow. and he's got a Windswept Teeth, and he's gonna hopefully still has another planes in his deck.
Yeah, and there's no Skirk Prospector, right? I was gonna say, like, it would be really funny if a lightning bolt came down.
Right.
But
that'd be a good way to interact with it.
Well, just no. If he fetches down to 3, and
it just kills it when it's on the stack. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the Nomad's en-Kor.
It's just from itself. It's not players. It never protects any players. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't. Let me just double check.
I mean, Cristian played this one, right? I think he got as aggressive as possible and just didn't give him the time, but like eventually.
Yeah. So the infinite life happened there, and.
Well, unless he didn't find a planes. Did we see the planes? Did he fail to find the planes? Yeah, I think he might have failed to find the planes. He tapped wrong. He could have fetched for a forest before then.
Oh, really?
I'm not sure, actually. He's pulling out his planes. You see that?
Yeah, in chat saying the same thing, that he didn't have another white source.
Yeah, but he did. If he used that...
Right. But the way he sequenced it. So I'm going to...
The way he sequenced it was wrong.
Because he had... So the list here is showing...
He had, when he cast the Living Wish...
planes.
After he cast the Living Wish, he still had 2 planes, the Starlit Sanctum, and the Windswept Teeth. He tapped the... For some reason, I think he tapped the 2 planes to cast Daru Spiritualist, and then left the Windswept Teeth behind. For some reason. And then maybe he didn't even have a forest in there either, but... Maybe that
the list is showing 4 forests, so I'm pretty sure
he definitely had another forest.
Yeah. I guess I wasn't even watching. I was looking at other things. I just assumed that the combo had resolved.
Yeah, I feel like so far Phil's kind of blown these 2 games. I mean, I hate to say it because he played so well against me.
I guess it depends on the blocks in the first one, but like the first game, just like he just didn't draw the 3rd piece for forever, and he had a lot of looks. So he had a bunch of turns, and he had Miri's Guile, and he shuffled at least once, and he just never could find. He needed a Living Wish or a Starlit Sanctum. Or a Worthy Cause. That's
any one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of cards that he could have drawn, and he never saw any of those. So now they're going to sideboarding. So we did. Let me bring up the Goblins deck. I mean, I think I would. I mean, Duress is medium, but I guess what cards are bad? I mean, I guess Goblin Tinkerer is probably the worst card.
Tinkerer is bad. You're taking that out.
I mean, I think Anarchy is probably the first card I would bring in. That
Definitely
seems like
bringing the Anarchy.
that seems like
Sparksmith seems worthy of bringing in. Maybe the King's worthy of bringing in. Definitely not the Rebs. The Crusades, probably not.
no,
And not
Sparksmith
the
I would bring in.
Sparksmith.
I mean,
yeah, of course.
there might be spots where it just doesn't do anything, but the potential where it does do something is really good. And we kind of mentioned before that Cristian's life total is just a resource that he can play with in this matchup.
Right.
Because Phil's either going to combo off or not. He's not going to be like attacking him with 1/1s. So Cristian doesn't really care what his life total is.
So then what does it look like that that Phil's going to bring in? I mean, he's not bringing Naturalize or Disenchant.
Well, so he does have a wish board, so there's a lot of cards that he's not intending in bringing in because of
So,
the Living Wish. There's
When
not
I
really that
played
many.
against him,
There's
when I played against him, he brought in the Genesis as a win con, because you could start cycling the Genesis with the Sanctum and start sacrificing the other clerics to do 1 a turn. It just like for 3 mana bring them back. But you can wish for the Genesis, so you probably leave that.
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to against like the Goblin deck. Like if
You're not bringing in anything.
I mean, you could say Orb's Chant maybe, but
probably the Orange Chance, because you can buy yourself an attack phase, right?
I mean, sure. I mean, I guess it's what are you taking out? Like, do you like Cabal Therapy? I mean, it's okay because you get to see like with matrons and ringleaders, you get to see some of the cards some of the time. But
Right.
I mean, Orange Chant's okay, but it's not great.
See, this is the one thing with Wish decks, and I've realized this with playing the Angry Hermit deck recently, is that the Wish decks, first of all, the 2 mana is very slow, and it's a sorcery, and it makes it less likely for you to draw your pieces in the deck as well. But, I mean, you get the consistency of getting it out of the Wish board. So this deck can obviously last a little longer, whereas in something more fast combo, it probably doesn't want the Living Wish. But, like, right now, like, you're looking at his list, and he has, 1 less Spiritualist and 1 less of each core, like Nomad or Shaman. That is just less likely for him to draw, just to throw those in the board, which is not a bad idea, but like, because that makes it more consistent. But it's almost like, why not Worldly Tutor? But you also have the Eldorami's Call. Like, he should be able to find these pieces. It's just that the Worthy Cause and Starlit Sanctum. I mean, the Starlit Sanctum is what makes Living Wish probably the most,
Yeah.
Enticing, is that you can find either of those. All right, starting out with the bird.
Oh, let me switch. All right. So he took a damage to play a Bird's Paradise.
All right, so now birds is a lot less scary for Cristian. Oh, it doesn't have a turn 1 play though. That's unfortunate.
Well, I mean, the way the games have played out, it's not like I've just been surprised that he's been able to win games that have gone 6-7 turns.
Right.
So
I agree. When I played him, it seemed, because I was playing, like I said, I was playing the Stifle Knot combo. It seemed like he had birds or Cabal Therapy on turn 1 every single game, and I was just like, ugh, like you got your black mana and your and your therapy to get rid of my Dreadnought.
yeah.
But like, it's probably not as good in this matchup because he doesn't need the Cabal Therapies as much.
Sure.
All right. Okay, so that's not bad. We've got the 2 toughness on the Piledriver, and hopefully next turn's the Warchief.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you don't have Goblin Warchief after a Piledriver, it's not a very impressive turn to play.
Yeah, it's not great, Bob, as they say.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like Cristian's playing 23 lands, so he should probably be able to, like, I prefer 24 in my Goblins list, but that's me. But so it looks like he's been doing pretty well in mana, because we've watched a couple of these Goblins matchups the last couple of times where I feel like Goblins decks sometimes get a little stuck on mana, and they're just playing not enough, but it looks like we're going to be okay on that. It looks like he's been curving pretty well.
Yeah, so Eldorami's Call found a Daru Spiritualist for Phil.
Okay. Is Eldorami's Call instant or sorcery? I can't remember.
That's an instant.
It kind of seems underplayed, right? Like, it's to be able to find any card.
It's 2 colors, so it's like green and white.
True.
Like, don't they're just colors that they just don't interact as well in this format. Like, I guess white has some of the interactions. It's kind of like,
well, this is the perfect deck for it because of the green and white combo deck.
Yeah.
So you want it, right? You don't put that in a value deck. You want that you need this in a combo deck, which is what it's in.
So here he has the Nomads and the Daru, so he just needs a Worthy Cause or a Starlit Sanctum or a Living Wish. So we're kind of in that spot again of Phil just needs one of like, what is it, 11 cards.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3s.
Right. He needs either one of the 4 Living Wishes, the 4, the 3
Worthy
Sanctum,
Cause, or 3
and the
Sanctum.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Sanctum. Yeah.
11 cards. All right. What's he searching for? Oh, he's just fetching. He's fetching one of those. Oh, he's getting into the planes. All right. And the Spiritualist is a cleric, so if he goes and gets the Sanctum, then he's good.
All right, so now this one is a cleric, so he will be able to sacrifice this.
All right, gain a billion.
All right,
just scoop him up.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, all right. At least Cristian realizes that.
All right, so
it's nothing worse when like someone gains a billion. You're like, okay, we're gonna just go draw the last 49 cards or whatever. Just
that game was a lot closer to what I guess I was thinking the first 2 games were gonna happen. So
yeah.
So yeah, okay.
I agree.
So yeah, there's just nothing. I mean, there's maybe like a crazy world where nope, I don't think there's realistically not a way that Cristian could win.
Unless he just has less cards in it or more cards in his library. But eventually the Sanctum should start grinding him out and he gets the Genesis or whatever it is the other way to win.
Or like you can get like Academy Rector and you can sacrifice that to go get Test of Endurance. Right. And you don't even, you can, if you really need to like be careful about it, like if you don't want it to get anarchied, you can put Academy Rector into play and then sacrifice it with Starlit Sanctum at the end of a turn.
Because that's a cleric also.
Yeah, and Anarchy's a sorcery, but like, yeah. So I'm glad Cristian just scooped him up because.
So if Cristian was playing the red green version, he's not bringing in naturalized for Test of Endurance.
No, I know.
It's just not worth
also,
it.
like if you as the life player, if you see that's like what he was doing, and even if that plan was good, which I don't think it is, he has Cabal Therapy, so it's kind of like you could just wait to not play your Test of Endurance until you've like Cabal Therapied for naturalize. I know let me go to the decks real quick. When I played the deck, I had a creature to get back. Okay, in my sideboard, I think I played, there's an Auramancer. So he would, even if the Test of Endurance did get destroyed, he'd be able to Living Wish for an Auramancer, which could bring it back, and then he could cast it again. So
Auramancer, man, this is the thing with this deck is that it brings like all the weird cards out. May return target enchantment from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, yeah, that is like when you're in dire need and you just need to win, and you already got your test, Cabal Therapy or something away.
Yeah, I think it's against the decks that can still win even when you gain infinite life, and they have a way to like kill your Test of Endurance.
Mm-hmm. Well, we got a Molda 6. It looks like for Phil.
Yeah,
Cristian's keeping, so that's good.
So this is where it looks like Cristian's mulliganing as well. So this is where I think like Goblin Lackey is a little bit more potent. I mean, the first 3 games, right? Yes. Phil was on the play. So there was always an opportunity for him to play a creature on turn 1 and then another creature on turn 2. Where in this spot, if Cristian goes turn 1 Lackey and Phil goes turn 1 creature, then Mogg Fanatic, possibly a Goblin Incinerator or Gempalm Incinerator or a Lightning Bolt could take out those creatures, and Siege King Commander could come down on turn 2. And that could be a spot where Phil would be in deep trouble. So, I mean, I definitely think the Goblins deck could take this match because at worst he's going to have 2 more games on the play. So that sequence of events is kind of like live for the next 2 games.
Because when a card is 4 in your deck, you have a 40% chance to draw it on your opening 7. I think.
Yeah, I think something like that.
So like, I mean, there's in 2 games you have a chance of that happening.
Yeah.
Pretty high. So. I do like the Goblins, man. I know like they're just good. They're just resilient, and it's just like the right kind of. That's not the bottom of your deck. I think he might have left a card on that. Is he putting his deck on a deck box? I don't think it's going to matter. I mean, because he'll probably fetch at some point, but It looked like there was a card left over on that deck box. I don't think he noticed. Like I said, I doubt it's going to matter. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so it looks like they're each down to 6 now.
So if both players are mulliganing, do you think that advantages one player over the other?
I mean, it has to advantage the non-combo player, right? You would think. I think maybe Phil's deck, maybe because it's a 3-card combo. That's the thing.
Well,
like, it's a lot to put
you
together.
could make the argument for some decks that like there's just not going to be enough pressure that Phil's eventually going to draw the combo, but against a deck with Goblin Lackey, I don't think that's the case.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Cristian's just he. You don't want to mulligan with the Goblins deck by any means, but I mean, with Phil's deck with the combo, even with the London mulligan, it's probably just not good. It's just harder for him. It's not like with playing like Stifle Knot or like some Reanimator or whatever, like just to mull. Oh, there we go.
So here goes. This is a sequence. We just had. Yep, Lightning Bolt takes out a Nomad's en-Kor, and here comes a...
The gang's all here! Come on! Gang's all here! Gang's all here!
Nope, oh, Mom. Maybe next turn.
Oh, the next turn. Yeah, the next turn.
Well, I guess it depends. I mean, like, you might make a more reactive, like, you might just go get a Gempalm Incinerator or something, like, or just a Goblin Warchief. And, because...
I hope he has a second land.
Phil is pretty likely to have another creature. All right, so here's a Gempalm Incinerator.
Yep. There we go. Oh,
yeah, I like that. I think that, like, I mean, it also depends on what's in Cristian's hand, but I think that is the conservative play, and I think it's really good. The question is there another? Okay, there's another land.
Oh, he's coasted now. Yeah. This has to feel good, and I bet he does have. He probably played that Matron because he probably has something hitting heavier that he could play than the next Lackey because he can interact now.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he's cruising. Oh, this game's probably over. This is just too good. He does not get any swords. Yeah, whatever. Take 2, and here comes the big boys.
I don't think he's going to put Gempalm Incinerator in
play. Yeah. Hail, the gang's all here. All right.
He had his deck box ready. He knew that's probably why he had his Lackey and his Bolt. And he's like, all right, I got my tokens ready.
Oh God, no, he's flying. He's got and this looks really good.
So here's
he's got the great Pete Venter's tokens from what were those from?
Unglued.
Unglued, excuse me.
Yeah, the first one, yeah.
The first one. So like those things are sweet. Actually, all those tokens from Unglued are really cool.
Yeah.
The soldiers, the what else was there? There's the soldiers, the goblins, the zombies, the squirrels, and
there's like a white one, isn't there?
There was a soldier. Okay. It's really surprising, actually. I was looking at tokens a little while back, like how there wasn't any bears or elephants. They had elephants finally in Odyssey because of Call of the Herd.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's elephants. Bears were from like Bearscape and Grizzly Fate from.
Right.
All right, so a task force is
a blocker.
A 3 toughness creature. I mean, I don't think you're blocking here because of Siege Gang. I mean, he could hope. Oh,
if he blocks, yeah, you're shooting at. Well, no, but it targets it, so it would be hard. It wouldn't kill it.
I want to see if it's both spell and ability. I think you might be right.
It's definitely ability because that's how the combo works.
That's true. Yeah.
Gempalm it. Okay, but you Gempalm it for 6. That'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll take it down. Boom. See you later. This is wrapping up quick.
So.
And now he has oh God, Siege King's so good. He's got removal and with that
7 damage of creatures right now.
7 damage. So that puts him into 8. Yep. It's gonna play another Lackey.
But yeah, he could just leave up 2 mana all the time because then it's like.
Absolutely should because he's playing creatures for free with the Lackey.
Yeah, and just being able to shoot down like a combo piece. Here's a Warchief comes in with the.
Yep, sounds good.
The Lackey.
He'll hang out next turn. Oh wait, no, he's thinking about that again. I mean, there's no reason you're never going to get punished for going wide. You're only going to get punished if you don't leave open mana, and even then, like he would still have to play.
Yeah.
Even then, there you go. There's another way to remove, interact with the Fanatic. This is done. Great hand by Cristian, but this is what the Goblins deck does. This is why, like, when people say, like, there's a couple things in this format you have to know. You have to deal with the rest. You can't have a deck that completely folds the rest. You have to deal with turn 1 Lackey. If your decks can't do that, you could just get run over just like this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you said. This is the first time he was on the play, and what the difference is. And then he didn't have he even did have a turn 1 play, and he was able to interact with it with the bolts, which are definitely unusual. There it is.
Yeah. So yeah, the match goes to Cristian. So I mean, I didn't think it was impossible, but I definitely did not expect the Goblins deck to win. So it was
still not
pretty
sure what
exciting.
happened in those. I'm still not sure what happened in that first game with those blocks. It's just the blocks that we saw. I guess Phil didn't see, but I mean, definitely with the whatchamacallit, the second one, the second game, I was like, maybe he doesn't have any more planes. He just tapped wrong, and so like that's a mistake. So should we try to talk to them or let them finish up?
Yeah, I'll unmute them and we'll just listen in for a little bit.
Okay. Let's see what they're saying.
Well,
yeah, I don't think they can hear us yet. They haven't unmuted us.
Right. But I unmuted them for the stream, so the stream, if they're saying anything, they'll be able to be heard.
Yeah, I played very poorly, and I apologize for that. Congratulations to Cristian. He's a deserved winner.
thank you. You can hear us?
Yes, we can hear you now. Yeah, you got to turn it on.
Yeah,
The first game really got me out of concentration.
I only won.
I had like everything 10 times, and I could not find any sec outlet for the live.
Yeah, you had the same combo pieces over and over, but didn't have a Worthy Cause, a Living Wish, or a Starlit Sanctum.
Just to get the shuffle effect, and I could not find anything. And then I was like, I don't know, my concentration broke, and I don't think.
Yeah, it was interesting how Cristian was able to just kind of attack a couple of times and just deal you enough damage. We were surprised. We thought if the game went that long that Phil was definitely going to win.
Yeah, I did about 30 games of testing against this Cristian's deck because a friend of mine has also a Goblin list. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think I won like 18 games out of 30.
Okay. Yeah, because looking at the lists,
it's not that clear for a matchup.
Looking at the lists, I thought the Goblins deck was not favored. I thought the Life deck would win, but the way the last game played out was, I thought how the most likely way that Goblins would win you would get a turn 1 Lackey and then be able to remove a blocker and then kind of take over the game from there. But so I was surprised the first 2 games that you were able to win after Phil kind of getting creatures onto the board and having the Shaman and the Task Force or the Daru Spiritualist and being able to block stuff, and you still were able to play enough creatures to still attack through those. That was very cool. Yeah,
game 1, the Goblin King got me a little bit knocked out because I had to block with 3 creatures to actually kill 1 Piledriver.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I only won first game because he didn't draw the sack outlet for game.
Yeah,
right. Yeah,
he had the three creatures with infinite thoughtness, and well, I Goblin King, I think it was crucial that game. He allows me to he needs to block with 3 creatures to kill 1 Piledriver.
I was thinking that maybe he could have blocked. We were talking. Mike and I were talking about this. That he could have double blocked the king and double blocked one of the Piledrivers to kill it after the king dies. You know, that would have been a way to do it. Or like just keep soaking up all the Piledrivers, but just because you can keep making them infinite and keeping your things around just to keep digging. But yeah, it's definitely a very complicated board state. That's for sure. So
yeah. I really other side a part of that Goblin King play. I only won because he didn't do the Worthy Cause and
right. Yeah,
and the second game he didn't realize the task force isn't a cleric. And
he couldn't sacrifice it to the Sanctum.
Yeah, and then he didn't have any planes left in the deck. So I was lucky, and I did a mistake when I attacked with the Prospector.
Okay.
And he blocked it well and killed it, and I had Lightning Bolt in hand. So when he went to 3 and searched for the planes, I said, "Oh man!"
That was one thing I said. I said it's good for Phil that there's no Skirk Prospector because he might just die to bolt here. But yeah, so
good read, Mike. Good read. Excellent. All right, well, Cristian, congratulations.
I'm almost scooped but yeah, just let him search for the planes and do it.
Yeah, I could
And
easily
wow,
play it away.
there's no planes.
Get a forest and tap otherwise. Yeah, but
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, the only way I think Cristian wins here is either he has a lightning bolt or still the prospector, or he fails to find, and it's just unfortunate that that's how it ended up. But yeah, well, I mean, we enjoyed watching it. We enjoyed commenting on it, and congratulations to you both. Actually, I know Phil and I had a good match in the semifinals, and I think it both showed what those decks can do, and it just it was a worthy finals. So congratulations, guys.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Cristian, I just have a few quick questions for the deck. So you played Goblins. Have you been playing Premodern for a while?
I've been playing Premodern for 3 months.
Okay.
I think. The first monthly I signed up for was last month, and I play Rock.
Okay.
3/3. That's over.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had Goblins, but yeah, I'm testing Splash Black or Green.
Okay.
The last Goblin that made top plays Green, but yeah, I know there are a lot of troublesome enchantments, but I prefer Black for Duress. And Dralnu Crusade is a very powerful card.
Okay.
Yeah,
you can play Goblin King, but he can die, and Crusade stays there.
Yeah,
So,
I've played both. I've played Black before, and Duress. Duress with pressure is definitely a good way to win this game in this format. So I think it's definitely a worthy way to do it. You lose to the top of the deck, and when things are resolved, but still, I mean, you put so much pressure on. They have to, they're on their back foot all the whole time. And if you can drop one of those early, especially on turn 2, because you don't have many good turn 2 plays, so it's definitely good there too. So I actually got to run, guys, but it was great to watch. Mike, thanks for hosting us, and
Yep.
Also it's still a fun time. Yeah.
I'll just
Congrats, Cristian. Thanks for the game.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Let me.
Yeah, sorry, Mike, I got to go. But like I said, I just want to say Monday, registration for the Midsummer Revel will be opening. And so for the August 22nd, that'll be that one-day Swiss tournament that I'll be running online for the Premodern Midsummer Revel.
So it's done. It's done via webcam, but
it's via webcam, just like this. Yeah.
But it's closer to like a paper tournament where there are set rounds, and it's a scheduled time, and it's all done in one day. So so that's the difference between. So that if your time zones line up and you're free that day, sign up. Because if those who are unaware, the way that this league works is you're kind of able to schedule your matches on your own time,
right?
And play at your convenience. Well, this tournament that Jared's talking about is closer to like a normal Paper Magic tournament. So if you guys are available, where can someone sign up for that tournament?
I'm going to be posting it on the Facebook and the Discord. It's going to be through a Google Forms. I'm sorry. It's cheaper and easier to do it that way if you don't have Google. And I think most people do. But it'll be August 22nd. Starts at 9 a.m. on Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. And that'd be about, 1,500 CET for the Europeans. So, and it should probably be 6 or 7 rounds. And I think I'll do probably a cut to top 4 just to kind of because it's a long day to be sitting in the house.
Sure. And the Facebook group you referred to is the Premodern Online Play one. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'll post it in the other ones too. Okay. But everything's going to be at its core is going to be through the Premodern Online Play group. So. Yeah.
So if viewers are watching, Premodern Online Play is typically where we run this tournament, and all the information, the signups and the pairings and whatnot go up. But then Premodern is just another more general Facebook group that'll. Usually there is posted in both groups. So if you're not part of those and you're interested in getting involved in the Premodern community, just search for them on Facebook and you can join those. Or if you have any questions, you can message me in some way, get a hold of me, and I'll walk you through it.
And if you want some more good content, the Premodcast, as you can see in the background here, is our the Premodern podcast that I do with Andrew Walker and Mike Harris. So
the stream can't really see it because of the way I have
that's true.
It's set up. But the Premodcast
again, I'm sorry I have to run, but at the same time, thank you, Mike. Congratulations, Cristian, and I look forward to many more good tournaments. So I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, sounds good.
Okay.
Bye.
All right, Cristian.
Well, I had 1 more minute and had to go too.
If there's anything else you want to say, or anyone you want to thank, or anything you want to
Yeah, I want to take to all my friends. Muchas gracias, muchachos, a los que están ahí apoyando el Magic en Argentina. La comunidad de Premodern está creciendo bastante en Argentina, así que denle para adelante. Está buenísimo este formato. Gracias a la página Premodern Argentina, al muchacho Maxi. Nada, gracias por estar. Thank you for the cast of the stream.
Yeah.
Michael. Thank you, Andrew, for the tournament, the group.
Yeah, for those watching, Andrew typically streams the tournament because he's the one who hosts these monthly ones. He has had internet issues. There was a storm in his area, so he was unable to do it. So I was happy to step in and do some commentary for it. So yeah. So congratulations, Cristian.
Thank you.
Way to pull it out. I'm always a fan of Goblins winning. So
I was horrifying for that match. I thought I didn't have any chance. That life deck is too strong, too versatile, too many tutors.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I have luck.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why you play the games, though. I mean, like, yeah, we could look at it and say, oh, life is going to win, but it's exciting when the way the game's actually played out. So
yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, thank you. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you around later.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right, everyone. So I would like to thank everyone for tuning in. If you guys are looking for more pre-modern content, I have a YouTube channel, The Cloud Goat Ranger. I post videos that I make with my friend Flint. He was the one who casted the semifinals. And I also record any of the tournaments that I play in these pre-modern monthly opens. What I always do when I play is I have a hand camera, so there's no commentary on it, but you're able to kind of follow along from my perspective and make plays or think about what you would do in my situation. So if you haven't checked that out, that's something you can do. Other resources like the pre-modcast that Jared is on, and Andrew Walker and Mike Harris, those are the hosts that are on there. And then they often talk to winners of these tournaments. So it will be likely that you'll have Cristian on a future episode of the pre-modcast. You should be able to subscribe to any of those on any of the platforms that you can find podcasts. And then Andrew Walker's channel his Twitch channel is OS_CurtApe, and then his YouTube channel is MisewellWatch, MISE, and he'll move any of his content that he streams onto his YouTube channel. So those are just some of the resources if you guys are looking to get more pre-modern content, and eventually this stream will be loaded up to YouTube. But I appreciate everyone hanging out, participating in chat, and enjoying some games of pre-modern with us. So hopefully we'll see you soon, and for everyone else, take care.